My friends and I heard about a local school having ghosts or something creepy. The rumors were that something was deep within the school. However, no one ever saw anything. That's how we got curious. We thought they were rumors and weren't really scared about what was there, because everyone knows ghosts aren't real. So we head there late at night, filled with curiosity and excitement. I mean, we were just young teenagers who wanted to fool around. Before heading to school, we snagged some alcohol from my parents' liquor cabinet. We needed some liquid courage, because even if ghosts weren't real, we all had that paranoid, anxious feeling inside of us. Anyways, we drive there and park our car and exited. It's freezing that night, and we all huddled together for warmth. It is probably well into the night, maybe midnight. No one is around, and we're already buzzed with anticipation and perhaps some alcohol. We're giggling, and the nervous jitters are gone. To be honest, we should have listened to our feelings earlier. It was the three of us, arms linked as we sneaked into the building. Most of the doors are locked. We found an unlocked window that the janitor always forgot to shut because of how far out it is in the school. And we snuck in. There isn't anything scary as we walk down the halls. No lurking figure, just us, whispering to each other. It's almost pitch black, but good thing we had our cell phones, so we used them as lights to look around. One of my friends asked me, "Do you think there are any ghosts?" At this point, I think it's all ridiculous, so I laugh and tell her no. My other friend, however, doesn't feel the same. This place feels weird at night. I couldn't agree more, but I want to keep looking, to prove to everyone there isn't a ghost. As we were walking, we can hear a knocking noise, and we froze. We hold our breath, because did we just get caught? We weren't sure. We looked around, but lowered our lights just in case. There wasn't anyone there, but we could still hear it, as if it was calling to us to come closer. We felt unsettled, because shouldn't the school not have anyone tonight? We clutched each other. We were foolish, and we looked at each other. Either we run now, or we keep going. My other friend mouthed the word, "ghost." That was more than enough to make the fear return to us. The nervous jitters pushed past any liquid courage we had. "That's it, we're going to run." We all nodded and ran, scrambling like scared children. We were gasping. I wasn't sure if it was because we were out of shape, or if because the fear was that strong. Either way, we were trying to remember where we ran off to. We passed deeper into the school, getting lost until we reached a staircase. It was pitch dark. We knew better than to go down there. That's not where the outside was, but then we heard a noise, different from the knocking. "Please help me," a child's voice called, echoing so far away I thought I misheard.
"Help me. I'm begging you."
I craned my head to the side, thinking I could catch her voice again. She sounded so young that I paused and looked back, wondering if she was down the hall. The fear I heard felt real, and I wasn't the only one that heard. My friends did too. We looked at each other, wondering if she was the one knocking earlier, and if she realized she knocked over and over. Then she pled again, and this time she sounded farther, as if she was looking for us. "Please help." And she sounded so distraught. I can only imagine how much fear she would have felt. Locked in the school all by herself tonight. I looked at my friends and I knew they felt the same way. We all had younger siblings, so it wasn't hard for us to want to go and protect her. "It feels so weird here," my friend whispered. She hated it here. The way she trembled as she gripped our arms. I knew this wasn't her joking. She had made that known since the beginning. "Yeah, like a pressure. I don't like it. We're totally drinking after this," my other friend grumbled, his arms crossed. I know he would drink himself stupid. There was no point in trying to say otherwise, because at that time, I knew I could also use a drink too. "Hell, I'll bring out the good stuff," I joked so that we could lose the tension that was wrapping around us. I saw them nod, and finally, we were able to put ourselves back together. The fear had eased, but it still remained. So we descended down the flight of stairs. It was really weird. I didn't think we would have to go down that far, considering this was just a school. But after one flight, I started feeling nauseous. Was it the alcohol or something else? I wasn't sure. And to this day, I am still not. But anyway, I looked around and flashed the lights. Since it's even darker down here than in the school, we mumbled that this was getting weird, but the girl screamed again, scared more than ever. Down here, how were we supposed to ignore that? So we went down a few flights, flashing the lights but finding nothing. I would wonder to this day if she was a lure or not, if she was really trapped down there. Not that it mattered at the time, because all we did is descend down more flights, even if the fear was almost crippling. I don't feel good, let's leave, one of my friends finally speaks up. She looks at me, hoping I wouldn't want to go back. But I am weak. I keep thinking that it was my sister. What about the girl? I asked her, squinting at her not because I was mad, but because I couldn't see her in the darkness. Screw the girl, we're going to die here. It doesn't feel right, my other friend retorted. He pushed me with his hand, and I felt not anger, but his own sense of panic. He didn't want to be here either. It's just a school. She's scared. I tried to convince them, and I did. They know how I felt, which is why we went down here in the first place. And that there was my biggest mistake, because I'm not even sure if it was a girl. However, we went deeper. I don't know how many flights, but at this point we had stopped. I felt like puking. My friends were panting, and then that's when I saw it. Each flight we had turned our lights around and called for the girl, but this time we didn't, because although we heard her repeated words closer than ever, more than the other times, we couldn't respond. Please help me, down here, as she sounded close, like maybe a flight or two down. However, there was that standing there. We couldn't really see much of the body of whatever this creature was, but it was lanky, really tall, and just stood there. I wanted to puke so bad, but I didn't. Fear seized, as it did my friends, because we stared at it, thinking, what is that? The creature was horrifying because it got closer to us. In waves of paranoia and fear crashed over us. I wanted to cry, and maybe I did because I never felt so sick in my entire life. It had a face, and the closer it got, the more I realized the features were blurred. It had shapes of what should be there, but wasn't. Like an imprint, but it was staring right at us. I want to vomit. Not only was it terrifying to look at, but there was the smell, like metal and rot. Maybe some urine. I don't know what it really was, but I wanted to get out. And that child still called for us to come, but we wouldn't. Without saying a word, I pulled my friends up the stairs and we ran. I don't know who was screaming, them or me, but I felt panicked, and I couldn't look back. We ran up and up and up. We ran all the way back to the car. We locked the doors of the car. None of us said a word. I would have dropped us all off at our own house, but we stayed together that night. I don't think we slept, but we just stayed in my room with the lights on, scared of what we saw, yet not talking about it. Since then, we've never gone back, never reported a thing. Why would we?